We did it! Welcome to the internet!
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Tabletop Legends. I am Matt, as always. I am your host and Dungeon Masters. We almost... 8 weeks I've been making that same goddamn joke about setting the record for Tabletop Legends episode, and we almost lost it. But, here we are, setting the record for most episodes of Tabletop Legends ever with number 8. Thank you for joining us, even though it's a little bit late because apparently the C++ file from something.
Yeah, the C++ visualizer expired or some nonsense. We had to
You
reinstall
know,
it.
just C++ visualizers. Just
Sometimes
the technical jargon that I understand.
Sometimes they just go bad.
Oh, Wizard did it! We're streaming on Patch Tuesday. It's a problem.
Christ. Here we are. We're online.
We're here.
We did it.
We did it.
Let's do that real quick
We're
because
all
the sound was
better for the
probably
experience.
real weird because we had it set not to omnidirectional mode since we were recording some stuff off stream. But we are here, and let us rip through our announcements because we're already 20 minutes behind schedule and we got some zombies to kill. So, let's see. Welcome back. I introduced myself. I made that dumb joke about records for Tabletop Legends episodes. If you are joining us for the first time tonight, if you have missed any of our previous episodes, please look us up on YouTube at Tabletop Legends. You can find us there. All of our previous episodes are available to watch anytime your little heart desires. We release each week's episode the Monday after it streams live, before this live stream, which is typically at 7 p.m. sharp on Tuesday evenings. Sometimes 7:21 sharp when the internet hates us.
It's okay.
Let me give a quick shout out and a thank you to our sponsors, Proficiency Bonus for hosting us, Streamlabs, Twitch affiliate program, Many-Sided Dice, and Team Emzy for supporting the Proficiency Bonus streaming network. And thank you to Tabletop Legends presenting sponsor, the 8th House and Marble Moon Studios, purveyors of fine mugs and other awesome witchy, magical, hip people type items that cool people buy. You can find them online at marblemoonstudio.com and shop the8thhouse.com. We will talk a little bit more about them and some Kickstarter stuff that they have going on a little bit later in the show. But one final piece of housekeeping business before we start. Last month, as some of our viewers may know, was Autism Awareness Month, and Tabletop Legends, and then all of Proficiency Bonus jumped on board, decided that we were going to have a month of charitable fundraising for autism awareness to gather money to make a donation to the Zephyr Foundation, which is a local nonprofit organization located close to where the group of us are all from here in New Jersey. We raised a whole bunch of bit donations on our premiere stream. The cast here is all matching part of the donations. And Tabletop Legends and Proficiency Bonus has agreed to donate all of the bits that they generated within the month of April. And after waiting for Twitch to get their crap together and give us the accounting of what we had raised and all that to figure out what the total donation was going to be, I am happy to announce that is all done. We have a final number, and between the folks here at the table and all of the awesome donations that the Proficiency Bonus community threw at our faces all month long, we have raised a whopping $1,000 that we will be donating to the Zephyr Foundation. Woo! So thank you. Applause to, I mean, really mostly to you guys, the viewers, as the entire thing here was predicated upon people donating and getting involved, and you guys rose to that occasion like 1,000,000% more than we ever thought was going to happen. We will be getting in touch with the Zephyr Foundation folks. We've already been in conversations with them a little bit, but we'll be getting in touch with them soon. We're going to go, we'll kind of shoot a video with them, doing some cool kind of like showing off of their organization, and hopefully be able to put that up online for folks to watch shortly. If you want some more information about the Zephyr Foundation, you want to make a donation yourself, get involved in any way, they are Zephyr.org. It's Zefer, zephyrfoundation.org. So please look them up. Just because April is over does not mean that we can't continue to do cool and awesome things. So thank everybody who donated bits this month. Thank you guys at the table for being part of this, and it really means a lot to me and to all of us. So thank you guys once again. And as a final thing, there's something that I want to do. Thanks to Marble Moon Studio and the 8th House. We have one of these, the highly coveted Tabletop Legends Magic AF mugs. I'm going to set a goal tonight of 20 concurrent viewers. So, if you are watching right now, tell your friends, tell your mom, call your aunt, yell at your neighbor,
mom.
tell your friend's
Tell
mom,
your friend's mom.
make a Twitch account
Tell
for
your
your
aunt's
dog.
friend.
I don't care what you have to do. If we can get 20 concurrent eyeballs on this stream at some point during the course of tonight, I will open up a raffle and we will give away another one of these Tabletop Legends mugs. So, go forth and be fertile.
All right.
And not in a weird way.
But not in a weird way.
Is there another way?
Tell-
Chad correct us that would technically be 40 eyeballs.
Did you just assume the number of eyeballs that our viewers have? Because...
There could be a lot of
No,
pirates
no,
out there.
okay, no, they're cool. They said maybe about 37. They have accounted for our cycloptic viewership. Thank you, I appreciate the inclusivity.
There's a bunch of pirates there. Tabletop Legends.
Somewhere Nick Fury is calling off the airstrike. Thank you.
Alrighty, so, yes, do that. Get that viewership up. If we get there, we'll give away a mug. If we don't, the mug is mine, and you'll never see it again. Till I try to give it away. Another time.
Take it and we'll kill its family.
Alright, so, you guys ready?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Who's
Here we go. We rejoin the party late in the night on 10 Leaf Fall, high above the forest floor in the rocky cliffs that make up part of the southern foothills of the Ujur Mountains, brought together by a man calling himself Turian Idrian to find and recover an item of magical power, thought to be responsible for a number of disappearances, deaths, and attacks upon the citizens of the small town of Stone Mill. The party have followed the clues, coming to the conclusion that something has been raising the corpses of ancient dwarves from a burial site somewhere in the surrounding wilderness. That, in turn, the undead had riled up a nest of harpies before slogging westward towards the town, apparently in search of anything magical in nature. Now, standing within the destroyed remains of a harpy nest, the party stares down a much smaller, seemingly newly formed opening in the rock wall at the back of the cavern. An opening through which a single undead dwarf is in the process of squeezing through. A dwarf with a kitchen knife buried in its back, matching the description given by the halfling woman of the assailant that kidnapped her daughter, little Mina Turner, fate of whom the party has been eager to discover. So, with that, we rejoin you all as this dwarf is in the process of scraping and clawing his way through this extremely narrow kind of opening with these sort of like type of noises.
So, am I the only one who saw that?
No, because Kel's got the area lit up, and you guys have kind of...
Okay.
Or Walter, I think, is torching. Somebody has torches.
I have a torch. I have a torch.
You guys have the area
Okay.
lit, and it's just like the back of this kind of cave area. You're certainly the closest, as you were the one who walked over there, but it's not subtle, and it's making a bunch of noises. It's like trying to scrape its way out. So what do you guys do?
So I've had a day, and I'm sort of done with this. So without giving anyone else time, I'm going to cast Chaos Bolt.
All right. Go ahead and roll the hit.
I thought he was
I'm gonna roll for wild magic.
Go ahead, roll for wild magic.
That is wild magic.
Okay.
So what?
Alright, roll to hit first.
What order do we resolve it? Okay.
Yeah, you do your
Alright.
attack first.
That is a 15 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
Okay, so we'll do damage for that one.
Yup.
All right, that is going to be 10 points of cold damage.
Okay. 1 second. Had an entire week to know that you guys were going to fight this one zombie. You would have thought that I would have had the book open. There we go. 10 points of cold, you said?
Yep.
Alrighty. So, the bolt of arcane energy
Did you actually just yourself?
flies out of your hand, turning this icy blue in the air as it strikes into the zombie. Like a shimmer of ice kind of forms up its side, splashes into the rocky wall behind, and it starts to move and is making these like crunching noises. And as that happens, your wild magic goes off, and
That is a 9,
Okay.
which is I cast magic missile as a 5th level spell.
alrighty, damn
Such a day.
it! So that is a bunch of d4s.
I think
Do you need more d4s?
I think it's 7.
As a 5th level spell,
I have 2.
it's 3 at
three
first
plus-
level
plus
plus
one for each
1
other
for
one?
each level.
Oh,
So
sorry.
we're donating. We
I
donate.
got 3.
I need one more.
I was
One
gonna say
more.
I had a 3 here.
Alright, so that is 2, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 plus 7, because it's 1d4 plus 1, right?
Yeah.
So 22 force damage.
So
I don't know whose these are.
the
Everyone take theirs back.
the zombie is he's got like the upper part of his torso out of this like partial hole that's been broken in the wall at this point. Your chaos bolt kind of strikes into him and partially flash freezes him to the wall as the moisture that's in this damp cave kind of coalesces. And just as he's beginning to like slow down from this frost bolt, and you kind of like you're looking at him, and he's like stops moving for just a second. You're like, did I get him? Did I freeze him? He gives one like shifts his weight, and the ice like. And so the rest of you guys hear this zombie like start to heave its way forward, followed immediately by just like this gnomish, and everybody like a sun has illuminated in here for a moment. Like the light just blinds you, like blinded as just bolts of magic missiles start like flying out of Kel's like fear stretched hands.
I take cover in one of the nests. Just
Behold the
strike
power of anxiety.
one after the other into this zombie who is basically just like it's like shoving the toothpaste back into the tube. Its body just like crumples in on itself as it's forced backwards the way it was coming, and you hear kind of a dull sort of like somewhere beyond the opening, and everything goes quiet.
That was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
I think you got him.
Aelor's reaction.
What the hell was that? That was amazing. Crying to obliterating in seconds.
Are we sure he's dead?
I think he's dead.
I don't know what just happened.
Arcana.
An act of God. That's what happened.
18.
For what happened here?
Yeah, the sudden.
He's a much better wizard than you thought he was.
Okay, you've been holding back on us. But that's not important right now. What is important, as Alar moves toward that hole, peers down within, short bow at the ready.
Go ahead and make. You have dark vision, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Perception is a 14.
okay. As you look through the hole that's been created by this either this dwarf breaking out or something breaking in. You basically can see that the natural stone wall, this hole, has been created as like part of the rock has been like chipped and broken away. And as you sort of stick the upper part of your body, bow first, into it, you see that there's about a foot of rock, but rather than the solid rock of the kind of cave around you, it's sort of like loose fill rock, as if it's rock that had crumbled and fallen and settled here. But a space just wide enough for a slender, like human-sized individual to crawl their way through has been hollowed out of this space. And you can see beyond that you are looking down a flight of hewn stone steps. The body of the dwarf, which is almost cartoonishly disfigured, as the top half of the body that was struck by the force of the magic missiles, basically like accordioned into its own torso, is just sort of laying in a heap right on the other side of this little, couple foot, basically, crawl space that's been created, standing at the top of these steps. And the staircase descends fairly steeply and makes a pretty quick curve out of sight.
Okay, I think we found our dwarven ruin. Lar's gonna stow his bow and start crawling in.
Can I ask a dumb question out of game? We know it's the Turner girl, but do we ever know her first name?
Nina.
Nina.
Mm-hmm.
Can I call down the hallway? Nina?
There is a very slight Nina echoes back.
That would have been too easy.
You hear nothing.
Well, great. Now everything that's down there knows we're here.
I think they would have
think they already knew we're here.
I'm gonna follow.
If you listen
I'll get
closely,
Silverwood.
you can actually still hear Kel's screaming echoing.
Oh boy, it sounds like a lot of stairs. Right.
The space is, in fact, too small for either Osrius or Nula to fit through in its current state. It's going to be tight for Brahm, Alar, and Walter, and obviously Kel would be.
So
He just
I'm
sits in
gonna
paths.
follow because I'm
How
ready for this to be over.
I'm pretty big.
You are fairly big, but you are not Dragonborn or Goliath big.
You are also not in male.
You're going to have to,
Yeah.
squeeze your way through.
6'3".
These three will make it. These two are not. You're going to have to widen this opening for these two to get through.
This is BS.
I'm gonna look around and see if there's anything like the keystone location from the old grave.
Go ahead and make an investigation.
Since there's clearly stairs, there must be a way to open a door or something. Pretty sure it's just a flat 10. Good thing.
You're looking around in the harpy nest.
Yeah, in the Harpy Nest
Okay.
area, yeah, with my torch and everything. Investigation is +3, so 13.
The area that the harpy's nest is in appears to be a naturally formed cave. There's no indication of
Even
anything.
the wall around
The wall around
the hole.
the hole
Yeah.
is just cave where there's some partial looser rubbly earth where something caved in the back. Nothing that appears to have been actually physically crafted by somebody is in this area until behind that portion.
How loose is the earth?
Certainly loose enough that you get the impression that you could shift it a little bit
Okay.
with your...
I'll just try to mold earth and try to excavate out whatever I can in that direction. While
Sure.
After the two smaller people go through.
Roll a d20.
And we all.
We're about to be caved in.
On me. Nice.
It's a 20.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Yay, we're
You know,
not
no,
separating
just
the party.
preemptively put that one on the dice scale.
This one's turned against me, I can tell.
Look at me
Place
all
of honor.
suspicious like.
So, After kind of surveying the area a little bit, Walter spends some time working his magic, and the loose fill of the kind of collapsed area. He's not... Basically anything larger than a piece like this big seems to be unaffected by your magic of mold earth. So like you kind of get a feel for where the cutoff is of what the magic of this spell is able to shift. And it takes you a good bit of time, as you have to go quite slowly. And there are a couple of moments where like you hear like a shift somewhere higher up in the stone. But eventually you manage to widen this passage just enough that everybody should be able to get through into the staircase below. Still going to be a tight fit for these two, but everyone in their gear.
I mean, it's better than a non-fit at this point.
Exactly.
Thank you.
All right, after everybody else. I'll just
While
follow
they're
the torch.
doing that, I'm making a study of the area. I'm also taking a moment to reach down and pull the kitchen knife out of the dwarf's corpse.
Alright.
My investigation of the area is a whole whopping 15.
Oh, you guys, you want to know how cool I am? I had a map for this area this whole time, and
Ooh.
did not give it to you.
Just in time for us to leave it.
Because I am the worst. So here's where you were. Wow.
Look at it. It's even two pieces that fit together and everything.
Yeah, so then when you were out here, before you investigated, and then when you went in the cave, the next part of the map would have gone down.
Everybody in the audience, just pretend that happened.
DM magic. Dun, da, da. Okay.
Fix it in post.
Yeah, we won't, but I mean, that's fine.
But
it's okay.
We
probably
probably
could
just say
just,
we
just,
will.
like, just cut this portion and just put it in the beginning, so it's been there the whole time. It's fine.
Alrighty. So.
Don't see this.
Pay no attention.
They know.
It was written on this paper. Attention to the man
No.
from behind the curtain.
So. Alright, marching order going down the pit here.
I'm gonna follow up last.
I'll head down first.
I am second.
As a,
Oh, you're gonna be second?
no, Kel sprinted down immediately after he murdered, destroyed.
I didn't wait. I didn't wait to see if he could get more people in.
Okay. Be third.
Everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
Alright.
Drawing the short bow and heading on down.
Okay. So, as you move down a flight of stairs, which takes you several meters down into the stone and curves slightly, creating a little bit of a disorientation as to which way you're facing relative to where you entered the staircase. You come to the bottom of the stairs, and there is a stone archway as this stairwell opens up into a larger passage. As you make your way into this area, immediately upon descending in, the air grows much cooler, much heavier, much more stale, having the kind of the almost gritty feel of atmosphere that has just been trapped and stagnant for a very, very long time. It is pitch black down here. For those of you traveling in the front, the illumination from the torch carried by those in the back of the group flickering behind you, casting a little bit of orangey, shadowy light on the stairwell behind you, but not really reaching much into here. With your dark vision in sort of this, the grainy, shadowy gray of the zero light conditions, you are able to make out the vague shape of a gently curving hallway of sorts, about 15 feet across. From what you can see, the stone floor is perfectly smooth. The angles at which the walls meet the floor appear to be perfectly symmetrical, and you can just make out what appears to be breaks every 20 feet or so along the length of the hallway, where it appears that like offshoots extend from the main branching portion of the hallway.
So now that we're in the cave, can I use my historical knowledge feature?
Sure.
When I'm in a ruin or dungeon, I can correctly ascertain the original purpose and determine its builders.
Sure. So as you enter into this area, the construction, the stonework, the quality of the stonework, the similarity to the crypt that you were in back in town, leaves no question as to the fact that this is Dwarven construction. And as you guys make your way down into this area and you get a few feet in and start to kind of look along the walls, you start seeing basically slotted shelves along the walls that need no translation, are clearly places where bodies would be laid to rest in a crypt.
Would be, meaning there's...
Right where you are, like right where you are in the beginning here, the shelves are empty. There's nothing on them.
Nothing's been there, or something has left. I'm gonna investigate one of the empty beers.
Okay.
That is a. That's a 16.
So as you come up, kind of to the first one here, I'll take this away.
Ah, okay.
So there are, as I said, they line the walls here.
Mm-hmm.
As you kind of look in there, it is smoothly carved stone. Besides being caked with a thick layer of like dust and accumulation of grime and the debris of ages, there is no residue that you can see here that would indicate that a body had been here at any point in recent time and like got up, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Your best estimation here is that this is perhaps a portion of this crypt that never came into use in its original time.
Zombies didn't come from here. They might have come from further along.
Well, we're looking for a little girl too, and she's clearly not here, so
Carry on.
Yep.
I guess so.
As you guys begin to move down the hallway, you see that these alcoves, these openings that you had seen that originally looked like perhaps intersecting halls of some sort, are in fact just sort of oblong alcoves. The hallway level is about 4 feet above the floor level inside these alcoves, with a set of staircases, short stone staircases, carved into the floor itself that descend down into each of these alcoves. And inside each of them, unlike the linings of the basically the main hallway here, there is only one space on either side of these areas where you see like a body would be laid to rest.
So like here and here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And these are, as you pass the first two and kind of look in, they are, rather than being open, there is basically like a worked stone door almost, like set into them.
Are those occupied?
Do the doors look as if they have been opened recently?
Make an investigation check.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's a 10.
tuck into this one and do the same. And that is a
You have the golden dice.
19 plus.
You have the golden dice.
I do.
That's a
Oh
25.
yeah, you have the golden d20. Huh. 25. Okay, and yours was a 10.
10.
The first couple that you pass do not appear to have been disturbed. As you come to that last one there on your right side, just before the corner, you kind of look in. You see that there is one where the smashed remains of one of these seals has shattered, is laying in several pieces on the ground, where either something opened it from the outside or, based on your undead experiences, kicked its way out from the inside. There is no sign of a
body. Nothing.
zombie body.
Okay,
or
nothing
anything
in there?
of nature. Empty. Whatever was in there is gone.
Alright.
Alright, well, we might as well continue down.
Yep.
Yep.
As you reach the end of the segment that is shown on that map there, you come not... this whole thing is gently sloping down, but not so much as the staircase that you descended. You actually come... This hallway comes to a fork. Oh boy. Got a sticky end. From here, you can see that heading off to the... let's make sure my orientation is correct here. Heading off to the left is a long hallway, similar to this one, but much straighter. You see a few openings in the hallway, as if for more offshoots or maybe some of these, but not nearly as many as you came across in this area. To the right fork, it is another long stretch of hallway, going another 30 feet or so, 40 feet. This one similarly has quite a few of these alcoves that look just like these ones do from the outside.
Left or right?
Investigation or survival. Looking for signs of disturbance either to the left or right, tracks and the like. I don't see a darn thing.
It's very dark. Even as the other members of your party come up behind with a torch, the length of time that this space has sat undisturbed has left a thick enough layer of just kind of like fine debris and dust on the floor that even sort of walking through it isn't really making enough of an impression to leave like super distinctive tracks.
I vote right.
I vote left. Before you said right, I was gonna pick left.
I'm gonna start to the left.
Alright, I guess we're going left.
All in favor, say right.
Alright, so you're heading to the left.
Left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Alar is at least.
Everybody's going left.
As you head down the leftward curve here,
That's very confusing.
it is very confusing. Take that away. You make your way. Oops.
And then we all died.
An earthquake knocks everybody over. You make your way down a bit more hallway. Eventually you come to another sort of fork. In one direction, more hallway.
Boy.
Number of alcoves along the way down. A number of so you see, you kind of can see like some of the alcoves this way, as marked by the sort of descents into them. You can see that there is what appears to be, it's much narrower than these, so it appears to be something a little different here. And there is basically a long stretch of narrow hallway right here to your left that leads to a wall with a closed door.
Want to keep going left?
We want to.
So like this goes like 15 more feet and there's a door here.
I
Check
actually
the
go
door.
left so I don't get lost.
Let's go for the door.
Yeah, I'm curious to as to the door myself. So I approach it, and first let's see if there are any traps on it. So investigation is a 25. So feel around the corners, look for wire. Pressure plate. That's
Fondling
what,
all over the place.
Yeah, you don't find any specific indicators that there would be any danger necessarily to opening this door. Save for if there's a bunch of zombies inside it. But in terms of traps, anything like that, does not seem to be trapped in any way that you can discern from an investigation of the outside. And it just appears to be sort of a heavy slab of stone set into a groove in both the floor and the ceiling that would be opened by like sliding it this way.
okay. Putting my ear up and listening. Perception check is a 19.
You hear a very thick slab of rock.
Okay.
Extremely
I'm going
thick
to
slab of rock.
attempt to open said door.
You should don't hear anything.
So as Alar, as your kind of ear is pressed to it, you hear, oh, and then the door slides past your head. Brahm, surprisingly, for a big stone door in an ancient dwarven crypt that you guys unearthed, surprisingly easy to open. It kind of just like slides fairly smoothly on the
It's gonna
track.
take a moment to be like,
Sliding doors.
that was easier than it should have been.
Dwarves build them to last.
So.
The nutsack room.
Put that right there. So that's the door that you
Game
opened.
Controller room.
Actually,
but yeah.
maybe more like lungs.
The lung room.
That's the door that you opened. What you see inside is up here. What you see inside is a dark room. It extends a number of feet beyond the narrow hallway that you've opened the door into. From what you can see where you're standing in this hallway, there is nothing in the room. There's just an open space in the center of this, whatever this large open room is.
I'm going to walk into the room.
I'm gonna
Am I? I'm gonna
have
tick off to the, slightly to the left.
Okay.
I'll just be in the
Did you not want to be that far?
That's fine.
It's like,
We're I run in the room and immediately while matching everything down.
We're in Dwarven ruins. I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
just
what I'd
I'll
like
just
to
wander
hear.
out.
That's what I'd like to hear.
Oh wait. Not a rectangle.
Dun dun dun!
Rectangle jet.
My God.
An obelisk that's on its side.
There's dogs in this cave.
LBV?
Can I hand my torch to my familiar and have it kind of fly near my head a little bit?
No.
Okay.
Your familiar is not capable of holding a burning torch and fire, unfortunately.
Acceptable.
Oh boy.
Oh, what is that?
Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
As you walk into the room,
With the jazz hands McGee.
so you guys kind of make your way down this hallway, and you emerge out into the room. And as you come out of this narrow hallway and are able to expand your peripheral to the sides of this room, you're able to take in the measure of it more than you could from inside. And you see what you were blocked from your vision before you had entered. There are a number of stone slabs placed around this area, two of which are seem to be much larger, flanking either side there. The walls behind each of these work areas, as they appear to be, are lined with dozens and dozens of alcoves. These stone alcoves you see at a quick glance are absolutely lined with hundreds of stone jars, all set in neat rows along them. There are two stocky skeletal figures standing beside each of these main tables. As you guys walk in, they are in the process of, it almost appears as if they're like pantomiming some sort of an activity. They're basically standing at these tables. There are an array of very old, very time-worn looking tools arrayed, and they are in the process of picking them up and manipulating them and acting as if they are working on something or doing something on this table.
I'm gonna approach this one just to take a look at what it's doing.
Okay.
I'm not gonna like interfere with it or anything. Just gonna walk over and like, try to get a
As
closer
you
look.
walk over and the torchlight is filling the rooms, and indeed as the rest of you guys sort of start to file in, the two skeletons.
Oh, way to go, Walter.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Turn from what they were doing, as if realizing that you're here for the first time, and a pair of tools clatter against each of these countertops as they turn towards you guys. This one starting to come around the table, this one lunging across it towards Walter. Go ahead and everybody roll initiative for me.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, look at that.
Oh, no.
Yes. That's not too bad.
The question is, did they beat Nula this time?
Maybe. We were kind of in the same last night.
You had like consistently low. Like,
We'd be harsh about
Only
it.
time will tell.
Yeah, way to be a dick about it.
I really wanted to go in here and be like, hi, Mark.
Echo, roll initiative.
We were in the room.
are we in the room?
I thought for sure when Curtis talked before it had done its command, we were screwed.
It was low enough. Made sure. Made
I'm
sure.
sorry, I cannot understand.
It's not me. It's not me.
It's Saved versus Curtis.
We have free literature dog food.
No!
We have pre-ordered your dog food. We have pre-ordered.
Sausages.
Alrighty. So, 25 to 20.
21.
22.
22, Kel. 21.
Panic spam, panic spam.
19 to 15.
16.
16. Oz.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
15. Getting real intense. Who's going to be at the bottom? 14 to 10.
12.
12, Brom.
Who's it gonna be?
What are we at? 9 to 5.
9.
9. Nula. Well, Walter.
5.
What a way to make a living.
Skeletons. Okay.
Anyone will get pulled off of you too.
Yep, alright, that's it.
Kel, you are the first to react as the clatter of these skeletons' tools hit the stone tables and they turn
Wonderful.
towards you.
Muck 'em up.
Say the line.
Step back. Then firebolt that guy in the face.
Firebolt. Okay, we'll hit.
Which guy in the face?
9. This one.
A 9 will not hit. So you shoot a streak of flame at it, and it sort of like passes through its open rib cage and splashes into the stone wall behind. A number of the stone jars like shatter, and like bits of stone and what almost appears to be sand just like comes clattering onto the floor behind these things. Okay. That is Alar's turn.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. Dropping the short bow and drawing the rapier as I go. And I know this is going to be horribly ineffective against one of them, but casting Booming Blade. And I too only roll a 9.
Alright, so you stick your rapier out and basically just manage to, like, the end of it, like, nicks off of a rib as it goes through, but there isn't really enough flesh or solid matter left on this thing to get much effect out of a piercing weapon, essentially.
That went much better in my head.
Which brings us to the skeletons. Ooh, they beat you. They beat you. I saw him going for those dice. I was like, nah, not yet.
Damn it.
Okay, so the skeletons. This one here will make an attack at Alar. That's going to be a 17 to hit.
That'll definitely
Ooh,
hit.
douchey
Okay.
skeleton.
That's okay.
And this one is going to...
Make a DC 13 wisdom save.
Go, okay. Put it on top of the bench there as it clambers onto the bench. It does make it safe,
Okay.
even with a -1. And it will attack you.
It's now immune from that effect.
Okay. But that is only going to be a 12 to hit.
Nope.
Okay. So that one basically like shambles up onto this stone workspace and like lashes a hand at you, but you kind of step back and it's not able to get the reach to get you. Alar, you, however, you take 5 piercing damage.
Ow.
As its like bony fingers basically just like into you with
Oh, that's much more effective when you have flesh.
seemingly more potency than you would have imagined, just like bones to have, as they like dig into you like a bunch of little knives. Pulls them back out. Now it's Osrius' turn.
Hey, so what I'm going to do is, where Walter is, I want to go over and try to Great Axe,
10, 15, 20, 25.
like leap and Great Axe him down behind the little altar there, like so leaping over. And
Okay, make an athletics check for me.
Good thing I can do that. Yes, I can, because that's a nat 20.
Hey, all right, all right, make your attack roll.
Okay, cool. Hopefully I didn't just waste it. And then I might have just wasted it. 12.
Not quite.
Come
But you do poof, land atop this stone table with a skeleton, like almost prone, reaching across it towards Walter, leaving you ready for like
Just cleaving it down.
cleave.
Yeah.
All right, so Brahm, the noise of battle starts to break out as your various party members move to intercept these two skeletons. And besides this, kind of the sounds of Osrius's like as he jumps, and kind of the noises that your party members are making. No real noise comes from these skeletons except for like the dry rustle of them moving and like the occasional like clatter of a bone. Otherwise, they are completely silent as they just in your guys' direction. It is your turn. What are you doing?
So I can hit this guy from this side of the thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like on it right now.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna come up here,
It's a party.
and I am going to swing at him with my rapier.
All right, roll the hit.
And rapier. Okay, that would be an 18.
Okay, that will hit. Roll some damage.
Okay. So that's an 8, and then I'm also going to use a bardic inspiration to do psychic blades.
Okay.
So that's going to be an extra 3d6. That's an extra 6 damage.
Okay. All right. So you basically lunge forward, and as this thing is like reaching over the stone table towards Walter, Osrius basically lands on the table. Its bony head kind of like turns in Osrius' direction, the hollow eye sockets looking up towards him. One of the hinges of its jaw is not properly attached, so it has this sort of permanent, almost like dopey look of surprise as it just sort of kind of like and offers you a nice target, an eye hole for your rapier, which you just stick the end of the sword right into like the skull, and as you force your magic through it, there's sort of a pulse, and the skull of the skeleton just like shatters outward from off the tip of your blade, and the rest of its bony form
Sorry to blow
goes
your
limp.
mind.
That almost hurt as much as the bony blades. Speaking of, help!
So we all take like 1d1
yeah,
one psychic damage.
everybody takes 1d4 pun damage.
1d4 cringe.
Okay, so that is that one. Go ahead and knock that mini over for me.
Back off the table.
Which brings us to Nula.
Alright, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I will attack that guy with my hammer.
You're not in range of that guy.
Yeah.
But
It's behind the
you could
table.
go like 5.
Oh, I can go diagonal.
Could she go
Yeah.
up over the table?
She could.
30, yeah.
Either way,
you can get to there.
Okay.
You should
Or
jump
you could
off the table.
Jump onto the table or some nonsense.
That's why I was hoping that he would be like on the other end because it was gonna come down.
12.
12 will not quite hit. So you basically swing your hammer, and surprisingly, showing more dexterity than you had really suspected from this thing, it kind of like swivels out of the way, where like your hammer would have come down through its clavicle. You just whiff through the air.
Creaky old bastard.
All right, Walter. So a skeleton head just blew up in front of you, and you hear the sound of your other companions
Almighty
fighting
whiff.
going behind you.
Walter behind you.
Gonna seem a little bit disappointed because I was trying to see like, what they were doing and the way that I made it attack me, but I'm gonna turn around and Eldritch Blast the, that
Will
one.
hit.
17,
17 will hit.
8 damage.
8 damage. Okay. So the Eldritch Blast streaks through the air, hits it in the rib cage, and a bunch of its ribs like crack and fling off. One or two of them like rattling around inside its own torso before like falling to the ground below it. The whole kind of upper half of it goes slightly lopsided, but it's still on its feet, and that brings us back to the top of the round with Kel.
Firebolt.
Firebolt!
24.
That will definitely hit.
7 points of fire damage.
Okay. So Kel, you line up your shot a little better this time. The firebolt hitting it right in the sternum, and basically the kind of like tendrils of flame arc out over it, charring and creating a brittleness in the bones, and the center of the rib cage kind of just like chars and crumbles in under its own weight, and the skeleton collapses into a pile of bones on the ground. It's dead.
The jazz hands.
The chamber goes quiet once more as the zombies, or the skeletons, refrain from getting up again.
Can I look at the table and what they were doing?
Sure, make an
Same.
investigation check.
What kind of tools they have?
Say,
that kind of thing?
yeah, doing the
Same.
same.
I'm gonna help Walter.
Okay.
I'm going to take a guess.
Does that mean with advantage? I don't remember.
Yes.
Yes.
This is
Pretending-
investigation.
pretending to-
Why you
Yeah.
It's not better.
It is better.
I mean,
Way to go, buddy.
Okay.
Help.
I'm not even certain there's a table.
I'm quite certain there's a table because I rolled a 24.
What was your... that you roll?
With advantage, it's a investigation 8.
So I got 20.
Okay.
7.
I got 24.
So,
I want to race from the bottom to the
you don't know what you're looking at. You guys are fairly certain from context clues, and even with that roll, you know what you're looking at. These guys, the tools that you see here, although they are very archaic forms of it, the tools that they were working with are a form of embalming tools, essentially. Tools that one would use to prepare bodies to be interred or to be laid to rest.
would have been embarrassing if I didn't know what those were.
Oh,
Yes.
this just looks like a nice pony stick to me. It's cool.
Scissors?
The shattered jar, that leaked out sand and stuff. He's gonna
Appears to be sand on the floor.
he's gonna sift through the jar, kind of half expecting to find preserved and shriveled organs.
Alright. What was your investigation?
Wait for that. 24 again.
We're to
You find sand.
You do find sand.
Okay.
What appears to
Put it
be
in my pocket.
sand or ash.
Okay.
Okay.
Already sand.
I'm gonna look around the walls around this end here, see if there's anything that sticks out.
Sure, make an investigation.
Six.
Blow, Walter. This is.
Can I put the sand in like a pouch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
As far as you can see, they appear to be sealed jars. Not like canopic jars where like organs and stuff are put in them. But they seem to be, as far as you can tell without like starting to go through them, they seem to be jars that would contain various spices, incenses, certain some of the labels have like little pictures on. You think some of them might have like various minerals and things, stuff that would be used either in the process of preparing a body or as some sort of for some sort of ritual purpose. That type I
was about to say, it was like, Walter, do they stuff the body with those things? You think?
I mean, I've heard that's how some people do it. We always just kind of buried people back home.
You don't do anything like this.
From a mining town, sometimes the bodies weren't recoverable. Most of the burials were ceremonial only.
Fascinating as this is, I'm guessing we're closer to finding out what caused the dead to rise or finding that kid.
Yep.
Alrighty.
All right.
Up we go.
Go ahead and pull all those up for me. So back out in the hallway, you can either continue the way you had been going before, like straight, or you can backtrack and try the other hallway that you neglected before.
Pocket some of the embalming tools, though.
Sure.
They seem like they'd be neat to have.
There was another hallway right
Yeah,
here where we should go down.
we'll go down the other one,
Continue.
then we'll backtrack.
Continue straight? Okay. So as you continue down that hallway, you make your way to the end of where you had been before. Down there. This is where you came out of.
Okay, yep,
You now
yep,
get
yep,
there.
yep, yep.
There is another set of stone stairs descending
I thought
into
we went down
darkness below.
here.
Yeah, I
We
thought
went that way, and then we were coming up.
Oh,
this
sorry.
way.
Yeah,
That
so
as you pass that, you come. It's basically, it looks like it was maybe another chamber. It is completely collapsed in.
Wow.
Okay.
There's just a pile of rubble there.
Okay.
I assume it's almost entirely stone.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
it's all stone and
Can you do anything about that, Oz? Or do you think we're out of luck?
Do what?
Move the stone.
I don't know. You guys are so much bigger than me. Maybe you can.
You
just
want me to
all
move
that
the stone? Can we just come out the way
it
that
looks
we did?
it looks like thousands upon thousands of pounds of rock and stone.
It might bring down the rest of the chamber. Let's not risk that.
You know what? We'll come back.
We'll come back to it. I like where you're going. We'll come back.
Okay, so anybody else have any more stupid ideas, or are we ready to move on?
Plenty.
Okay.
Well, if
gotta-
we
I
need stupid
gotta-
ideas, we'll ask you.
Hey, Lar.
Let's go.
How much do you want those tools to weigh? 5 pounds?
800.
So you're at the top of a set of stone steps that descends at least a dozen or so meters down, into dark and gloom.
Alright. Putting away the short bow, laying a torch of my own, and drawing the rapier. Heading down.
Okay, head down. Pull those guys for me.
He's got the whole party in his hands. I don't know if there's a copyright song or not, so we're gonna stop it.
Stop there.
Well, it's not the same.
We got our 9 seconds or whatever.
It's the same
It's not the
tune.
same. Whatever.
Maybe I'll take that back into dice jail.
It's going for
Maybe I need to be in dice jail. I think that's the problem.
Do you want this?
Yeah, I'll take it back.
You got
I
early
already
parole.
used the net 20 for that one, so I'll just hope for the best.
So she rolled an 18 and then a 19, so there goes all the good luck in
Yeah,
that
it's
dice.
See, there's your problem. You put a good dice in jail. So
I had
now
to,
all
I had
the
to teach it a
injustice.
lesson.
You put an innocent man in prison.
Oh, I don't have a
No.
map
Oh,
piece for
so
this.
I'm just
one.
standing here with the party in my hand.
Well,
like,
you'll get to one in a second because you have another decision to make before we put a map down. I got confused as always. So you come down these steps and you enter into an area that is roughly an oval-shaped chamber with a central like stone support column in the center, making it kind of like an vaguely oval-shaped donut of a room. In spokes coming out around, there are more of those alcoves, all with places for bodies to be buried. As you're moving through this area and looking in by the light of your torch, you do see that there appear to be more of these alcoves where the covering has been knocked away and lays on the ground broken, as if something has come out of these. A number of them, many of them are still closed, but as opposed to the kind of the one that you had seen up above, there are 4 or 5 down here that you pass that are open. But you see no bodies, no evidence of anything on the floor or still milling about in the area.
The 2 we engaged, the 2 that went to the town, the one that we just killed. Couple not accounted for, so there's probably a few more that we might have to deal with.
Yep.
Okay.
But there's no other hallways, there's no other...
Yes, so where you get to here, as you come to like the far side of that donut, there's another fork. To your left, there's about 15 feet of hallway that ends again in a door. To your right, there is about 15 feet of hallway that appears to just have a shorter set of steps that descends a little bit more. You can see a little bit of hallway beyond, but it kind of curves away from you, and you're slightly above it, so you can't see much of what's over there.
Keeping the left plan.
The door.
Alright, let's check the door. Alright, so again,
Anything good is left behind the door.
putting the torch down to the side and checking it for traps.
Not really secure doors though.
That is a whole whopping 14.
Right in front of my damn face. Okay, that's already 4. Again, the door does not appear to be trapped, that you can tell.
Same construction as the last.
Seems to be.
Okay. Once again, press my ear to it. I don't hear a damn thing.
The stone is there. These doors are stone yay thick. Actually, as you go to move that door again, this time it goes about an inch, and there's like a. It's like it hits something.
This
Is it
weird
neat?
bullshit.
Open it like a
with
burn?
doors
You can
down
try
here.
and look in if you wanted to.
Okay,
Like,
so you're in. I don't see a thing.
it's like the
I'll
the
peer
angle
in.
is just such that you're like, you
Okay.
can't make out anything of use.
What kind of check do you want there?
Perception.
Be an 11.
11. Similarly, like the gap is so narrow, and the door jam is so wide that you're like trying to kind of like, and you can't see anything.
Can I try to pull open the door more?
Yeah. Make a strength check.
If
You
I
wanna help
help
me?
him, yeah.
So I
roll
just
with
do it at
advantage.
advantage.
Yep.
Okay. I back up a bit to give them room.
Nat 20.
Hey!
Yeah.
Probably not gonna do anything now.
I don't know.
You come up, grab this way onto the door. Brom, you're kind of the other way, getting in to like
Get your
push.
feet in there. Like.
And with just one great like. You hear the sound of something in that mechanism like break free, and the door slams open with a loud resounding like.
Yeah, when in doubt, break it!
Just like, the voice just goes down. Woo!
There is a
Army of zombies.
relatively small chamber in front of you. Nula
Nula
barrel
is
rolls
just-
into the room.
Just laying on the
What?
stairs.
Tuck and roll.
Ooh, this is no time for a nap!
B&E.
Hardcore parkour! B&E, we're doing a B&E.
Moving in,
This is my specialty.
picking back up the torch, I set down.
All this
So,
doors for
what
this.
comes to kill us?
So, you enter into
Should
the
we
room.
be in there?
Yeah, we technically
Did we open the door?
open the door.
I was just like in the doorway with a thing. Everybody's just kind of like piling into the room.
There is very little in this room. It is a very plain-walled chamber. In the center, there sits a single stone kneeler. before which is a chiseled stone plinth, the top of which has been masterfully worked so that as it rises to a point about 4 feet off the ground, the smooth straight lines of the plinth meld seamlessly into the carved likeness of a mountain peak. Within the center of this carved mountain peak, a single fist-sized emerald is set in. On the floor between the kneeler and the plinth is a simple stone depression in the ground.
Wisdom check? What is a plinth?
Oh, it's like a... It's like a...
Was it just me, or did nobody else know what a plinth was either?
One word. One syllable.
Unless I'm, like, drastically pronouncing it incorrect.
No, you're
good.
pronouncing it right.
I
I
don't know
have
what
an
it is.
idea of what it is based on context clues,
Yes.
but I
I have a
haven't
general
heard the
idea.
word before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Why is there a word for that? It seems useless.
it's an altar.
It's like it's a straight, smooth-edged, carved piece of stone coming up, and then seamlessly it flows into like a statuary of a mountain peak with this
Okay.
big son of a bitch of a gem right in the middle of it.
Do I feel like that looks like? Does it remind me of the key from?
It reminds
Does
you
it
of
know?
it reminds you of the like the religious iconography that was on the thing that the key was in.
Yes.
This is another altar to Duathan.
It's an altar to Dumathlin,
Yes.
yes.
Dumathlin.
Bad things are probably gonna have to retake this ruby, right?
I mean, it's like,
Is this an Indiana Jones thing?
Probably.
That bag of sand.
And everybody wanted to say it. No, don't take the sand.
I got a better
who
idea.
can mage hand?
We can, yeah. Everybody clear the room.
Are we about to mess around with this?
We'll come besides that ruby.
Yeah.
It is an emerald.
As everybody
Well,
else,
it's like Daffy
as
Duck,
everybody
like,
else's eyes are focused on the gem and possibly stealing the gem, with your scholarly inclinations, you are the one to notice that there is an engraving upon the bottom of this this thing in Dwarvish.
Who can read Dwarvish?
Who can read Dwarvish?
Yo,
I can,
what's it say?
Yeah, we can.
I can speak Dwarvish.
So
Yes,
if you
yes,
can
you
speak,
can
it, you
read
can
it.
read it.
Does
Yeah.
it say free? Come and take me.
To whom it may concern.
Alar
Free
just,
gem.
Alar just kind of blinks a few times. No, it
It
says.
says, "Take an emerald, leave an emerald."
That's it.
Even better.
Except it's a ruby, not an emerald.
Yeah,
No, it's an
No,
emerald.
it's an emerald.
Oh, okay.
It's been an emerald.
Alar just goes.
Damn it!
No, it's sorry.
Even
I
better.
just had one.
But we do have a bag of sand.
Victorian.
You can put a rock in there to make it feel the same.
1 week before, I would have had one.
I feel like Oz's eyes, Brahm's eyes, and possibly Alar's eyes are literal emeralds right now.
No, mine is like Daffy Duck, like the dollar sign. It's like, mine. It's all mine.
I'm just saying.
So what the inscription now? It is a little. You have to kind of guess at a little bit of it, as the dialect is extremely outdated from the modern version of the Dwarven written dialect that you're aware. But the alphabet is still roughly the same. As far as you can tell, the inscription carved onto below the emerald says something that roughly translates to "reflect thee, Talhund, and receive."
Reflect the Talhund and receive.
All right, Oz, bend over.
No.
Is it a word for emerald?
Do I know what Talhund means?
Make a religion check.
Religion.
Would he maybe know too?
I mean, well,
No.
she's the
3.
paladin.
I got a +2 at it. I'll take a stab.
Do I have anything in my religion?
12.
Yeah, you're not sure either.
I have a +1 in religion
Hey.
for some reason.
You know what? I've heard of Talmud.
I was gonna say I'll make a roll.
So using the golden d20, Kel, as this inscription is translated for you, in connection with the iconography of Dumathoin, you are familiar, not in any direct sense, but through some reading you've done. As far as anyone is aware, this is still the case, but the information is quite outdated, as the dwarves are not particularly forthcoming with the goings-on in their society currently. But many years ago, the Order of Clerics, specifically devoted to the service of Dumathoin, who basically worked magic through divine gifts granted by this dwarven deity, were known as the Talhund. They are, among other things, they had a lot of responsibility in dealing with the dwarven dead. As Dumathoin, one of his one of the parts of his whole thing is he's sort of like the protector of the dwarven dead. So his clerics, the Talhund, among their other duties, were often known to be sort of the ones you bring your dead to have certain rites and rituals and things performed over them.
What did the inscription say again?
Reflect
something
the
with
Reflect the Talhund and receive.
I am going to kneel on the kneeler.
Okay. As you kneel down on the kneeler, you look that depression in the ground. There is, astoundingly, a very small amount of water in the bottom of this kind of hole. Appears to be quite clear, as you are able to see through it very easily. A handful of gold coins and a sparkling red ruby sitting in the bottom of this basin.
Does everybody else see it, or is it just
Yes,
me?
you guys, as he as Brom, let me see that. You guys
See this?
It appears that coins and things have been thrown into this little depression.
Take that and put it into that.
I think something bad might be happening if we take something out of this. We're supposed to donate into it?
It did say you could receive if you reflect. Do you see yourself in the water's reflection?
Do I?
Do I?
No, not. It's very dark. The water's very clear. It's not really reflective in nature.
Put your head under there.
Sounds like the worst idea. I'm gonna toss or put a few gold coins in and see what happens.
Okay.
He'll just
I'm gonna attack the emerald. Kidding. Not canon.
not canon. Out of character, I totally attack
Oh boy.
it. In character, no.
He's writing things.
It's okay. Okay, just roll with it.
There you go.
Alright.
Well, that's not helpful.
Anything, Brown?
What happened?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right, man.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm just gonna touch the emerald.
What are you doing,
See
buddy?
happens.
Brom reaches out, touches the emerald. It happens.
What do you?
Does it feel like it's got any give?
What are you doing there, buddy?
Very carefully, in his sort of delicate moment, shifts his grip very slightly and just, as if he can deceive the eyes of a god, checks to see if there's any wiggle in this gem. It seems to be in there pretty well. It's not just gonna pop
And
out.
I go towards the door.
Yeah.
I'm heading
Alar's
towards
starting
the
to
door.
back up a little bit. He grabs
You go for
back
it,
of
buddy.
Kella's, robe and Let's let him do something rash.
You go for it, buddy. Go for it.
Doesn't seem to come out of the wall.
Give it a harder tug.
How about we just let things lie and go look for the girl?
No, I think we need to do this. Just give it a harder tug.
Let's come back to this.
It's been here this
Just
long.
tug it.
I'm gonna pull on the emerald.
Thank you.
How realistic of an attempt are you making to remove this from the? You like?
A good one.
All right. Make a
Not
strength.
like all my strength.
Make
but
a strength
enough.
check.
Please be a 20. Please be a 20.
What's an 18 plus 2?
Nope.
So.
Step. Sprint.
From
Sound
everywhere
like
and nowhere
it's
at
just
once.
tightening.
From everywhere and nowhere at once, a howling wind rushes seemingly through every corridor of this crypt, carrying on it what you aren't sure. Perhaps it's just the sound of this wind, perhaps it's your imagination, but perhaps it's not. Carrying with it what you think you hear as like a otherworldly howl of a cacophonous group of dissonant
Put it back.
voices.
Put it back.
The air
The
settles
emerald.
from this wind,
Back.
and that's where we'll take our break for the night.
Yay! I think we're already too late.
Okay, thank you guys for sticking with us so far. We're going to take a break for 5 to 7 minutes. We will come back. We'll have some information for you about Marble Moon Studio, the 8th house. We are... we've been floating around. I've seen us climb up around 10 viewers a few times. So halfway there. Keep spreading the word. Get some viewers to come check us out. And if we get up to that 20, we will give away a mug. We haven't gotten there yet. So thank you guys for watching. Bear with us. We will be back very shortly, and we will see what happens as Brahm touched the thing.
That could also be the episode title.
Brahm Hello, welcome back. Thank you guys for sticking with us over the break. Everybody has gotten a drink, gotten a second of air, gone to the Whiz Palace. Is that
Wiz Palace.
Gone to the Whiz Palace and are ready to roll for the second half of our show. Before we dive back into it, I do want to thank our sponsor, Marble Moon Studio in the 8th House, an independently and ethically sourced witchy lifestyle and home goods shop. They are super awesome. You can find them online at Marble Moon Studio and shop8thhouse.com. They have all sorts of cool witchy lifestyle and home goods type things available for purchase online, including the Tabletop Legends Magic AF mug. If you want one, you can get it there. Go find it. It's awesome. They are also currently in the process of launching a Kickstarter for the 8th House Tarot deck. So if you go to Kickstarter and you search for the 8th House Tarot deck, you can find them. And if you would like to donate to that, please do so. It is a set of tarot cards that are custom designed and like foil holographic, right?
Yeah. Hollow foil.
If you, like me, were super into holographic Pokemon cards when you were 10,
Holographic covers on comics.
you can get a holographic tarot deck through the 8th House Tarot deck Kickstarter. So please go ahead and check them out. They're super awesome. They support the show. They are the best, and you should go and give them your money, or I'll punch you in the throat. I don't know. You know, whatever. Anyway, let us jump back into it. I was like, yes?
Resuming from last.
Brahm assumes the position. So when we left off, Brahm had given an offering to the shrine to Dumathlin that you guys uncovered in this dwarven crypt. Immediately feeling a sense of inner peace and strength flow into him from somewhere in the great beyond. To which he responded by yoinking the emerald out of the shrine. There was a great howling of wind moving through the entire tomb complex. Settled down, the air growing still and quiet again.
Put it back.
Go ahead.
That sounds fine.
It back.
Alright, Ghost Wind. Does it go back?
Well, I'm gonna mage hand yoink the ruby out of the pool and.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Look,
Don't make
we
it
are.
worse.
It's already pissed off. We just
Don't
need to get out of
make
this
it
place.
worse.
I think it's fine.
Just put it in the
Just
pond.
take it.
Just put it in the pond.
No,
ALR's
just take
just
it.
no. No. They're
We're leaving. Everybody, we're leaving.
We out of this room.
He's just going nope. And
Is
just
everybody
walking.
Mm-hmm.
leaving the room?
Yeah, I just yoinked the ruby and I'm leaving. Look,
I am going to either keep it or put it back, and that is
dead
my
guys don't need
secret.
offerings. It's fine.
That is my secret.
I
Do you
hope
need
you
me to
put
tell
it
you
back.
what I do?
I hope you keep it.
What?
I said they all left the room, and I said I'm either keeping it or I'm putting it back, but that's my secret.
You can just write it down and share it with me later.
Is it good? Should we do it now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, give me a thing.
Here, I'll give you the I'll give you the same note on which you got your blessing from that was immediately revoked as you robbed the shrine.
Walter is 100% taking the ruby though. Like, that's just dumb.
We're already.
No, to be fair,
It's
We're
already,
already
it's,
in the
it's
thick
already
of it.
pissed off.
yeah.
but, like,
To be fair, if you hadn't, I was going to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody
I was
going to.
gonna tell you to take the coins.
Oh, I thought you
Everything
expected
around.
points as well.
No, I was only just yoinking the biggest thing I could find and then running out
Oh,
the door.
okay. Yeah.
And
it's
the
fine.
coins are fine. We got what matters.
All right. Oh, I killed myself.
As you're walking out, you just
Instant karma!
I loot the body.
Okay, so you head back out of this door. You are back at that fork. So the fork, the one way you went led to that chamber. The other way leads to a sort of slight set of stairs that leads down. And then back behind you is that donut-shaped area that leads back up.
Taking the stairs and heading down.
Okay. You move forward. This one I do have a piece of map for.
Should I take this one away?
Yes, you can pull that one away. You come down a stone staircase.
She's dead.
Throw everybody everywhere.
I'm thrown off the stairs.
Tell my mother I loved her.
Come down the stone staircase. Before you, there is 2 paths. One, a staircase leading steeply, steeply, steeply down. To your left there, an alcove in the wall has a similar to the tableaus on the wall in the crypt that you visited in Stone Mill. There is a tableau here that you see. It just depicts kind of a general like mountainscape, as far as you can tell. Bending around in a curve that way, there is another hallway, but it's a hallway that's very ramp-like as it leads upwards, like back up. You know, as you guys have been making your way around this way, you've been like down, 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 down. This hallway is sloped up from where you are, and you see a number of kind of the burial alcoves coming off of this hallway as it slopes up into the darkness ahead of you that way.
I kind of want to go up.
Is that left?
Yeah.
Alright.
And these are stairs down.
Those are stairs down.
I think we can probably need to keep going down.
But we were going left.
So it's 2 and 2. At this point, Walter, what do you want to do?
Guess Walter will flip a coin. I don't know. Roll the dice, whatever. Odds left. I'm gonna vote left.
Up.
Yep. Whatever way's left.
I want to go
Technically,
down.
technically down is left from where we're standing.
That's the thing.
Oh no, it's right. Wrong.
Yeah.
You're facing the
You're
other
facing the
direction.
other
It's
way.
my left there. But he and Oz wants to go down.
Alright, sounds good. Split up.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should split up.
Well, I'm not going up.
Ultimatum.
Alright.
All
Well,
right.
let's just go down. Whatever. There's more
Fine,
there's
we'll
more
go
crypts
down.
down probably.
Yeah.
You can always come back up.
There have been more crypts open the further we have gone down. That's all I'm saying.
That is a fair point. Race to the bottom. Let's go.
That is.
All right, down.
Go
Okay.
down.
You gotta
the
search
stairs.
everywhere, I feel like.
Yes, we do have to search everywhere because we're looking for 1, small halfling child, 2, who or whatever caused all these dead dwarves to get up and start killing people.
Go ahead and pull that for me.
So why don't we go? So that's what I'm saying. Why would we go down before we go up?
Because what the heck?
Started from the top and now we're here.
But who wants to be where?
Alar will continue be in the front as well.
Oh, good.
Good.
Jazz hands.
Slightly more reluctant, so I'll be towards the back.
Okay. You descend the stairs. The stairs open up, and you spill out into a large room, almost entirely devoid of any feature across the floor of it, save 2 heavy-duty looking support columns in the center. Immediately, as the torchlight floods out of the stairwell, casts over this area, you spot a pair of skeletons short in stature dwarven skeletons, which appear to be just kind of milling about thus far. You see all along the walls these small little squared alcoves. From what you can tell, they don't appear to be more than a few feet deep, but you can't get a look at what's in them necessarily from here. The skeletons do not appear to have reacted to your arrival on this level at this point.
Nothing here. Let's go up.
Not quite.
We can see. We can see the whole chamber.
With dark vision, yes, you can see the back of the chamber there. It's pretty gloomy in the back, further away from your light.
But there's nothing really of interest in the whole room.
There appears to be, from what you can tell, where these are like kind of smaller alcoves. That looks like it's a small hallway.
Should be stealth. Put out your torches and stealth.
Yeah, let's just try to make our way through the room without drawing too much attention.
Alright, put out your torches.
Snuff the
Everyone
torch.
hold
Yep, I
hands.
snuff my torch, and because I've got dark vision, I will set off in the lead.
I'll try the
Yep.
Maybe.
I will
trick.
I will grab your hand, set it on
Yeah, I'll do
my
the same
shoulder.
pause.
Alright,
Okay.
fair enough.
Are you good or can you not?
Make
see
a
dark?
group stealth check.
She can actually use that dark vision, right?
No.
Is this
Very
a
important.
disadvantage? If I'm
He's technically being led. Like,
It is still at disadvantage, since like you know where to go, but
I still
avoiding like
can't see.
tripping or bumping into stuff
Yeah.
is still gonna be difficult.
Same with me as well.
If you're doing the Morgan thing,
I was
you're
planning
okay.
to do the Morgan thing.
While being led,
While
then
the-
you're
while the
just
body-
making a normal stealth check.
Okay. Yeah. So
Okay.
one hand on here to orient myself. And
Mhm. Alright.
22.
Okay.
21.
Over.
7.
Okay.
6.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
18.
All right.
Did you lose it up?
Yeah, I did. I lost the D4, but
Find you before
Wait.
the dogs do.
yeah.
Is it under your butt?
No, I
tried
didn't.
calling it.
I didn't want to disrupt the.
Take off your shoe and just start moving your
I
foot
see.
around. You'll find it.
Where is it? And I'll get it.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to get it.
Will they find the die?
Find out
All the way
Find out
back
next
there.
time on Tabletop Legends episode 9.
Sorry.
So, you guys move quietly into the room. Osrius,
Yes.
you're not able to see anything. You just,
Of course.
all you rely on is the slight shuffle of the feet in front of you and the feel
I'm so sorry.
of Brahm's coat
Brahm's
in
coat.
your hand. The skeletons are milling about aimlessly, seeming to have no real direction. You move off to one side about 15 feet or so into the room. You come to a stop, waiting for the skeleton to meander a bit of a distance this way. And as you think you have a moment,
Think.
you feel a tug and everybody starts to move. Quietly as you can, sneak along this far wall, making your way further and further into the room towards the hallway that you had spotted from previously. You make it to about there.
Yeah.
Skeletons do not appear to have taken any note of you. But Alar, right as you guys crest the sight line around this second column,
This one?
this, you see a figure standing there. As opposed to these skeletons, it is fully fleshed, although the skin is paper thin and dry and sunken and desiccated. It is wrapped in similar burial rags to a lot of the dwarven zombies that you had seen, but they are much finer in nature and much better preserved. And this creature, even though it is kind of staring into the distance, you can see something of an intellect exists there that you have not seen in these creatures so far. Very base level, but as opposed to the skeletons and the zombies, which seem to be creatures acting on instinct almost, this creature seems to have a little more going on as it stands there. You come to a stop just in time before you walk out too far and cross into what is likely its peripheral vision.
Is he the only one who can see it?
Yes.
Minor
Because Walter
illusion. Going to make a sound of a rock falling back here-ish.
Okay. Make a deception check.
I'm gonna
5.
Can I cast Bardic Inspiration on him?
Not anymore.
Damn it.
However, two skeletons begin to clatter off in that direction. And this creature takes a handful of loping steps around this way.
He's going to grab Walter's hand, just start tugging, and we're going to...
Book it. Stealthily booking.
Yep.
Alright, make another stealth check.
It's the worst game of Snake.
Oh no.
Oh my god, Walter. Oh my god, Walter!
Oh boy.
I am not of much help. That's only a 13 this time.
Mine's even worse.
Is it worse?
What's yours?
We both
Oh,
rolled
boy.
twos.
We
This
both
is
rolled
not going
twos.
well.
Me too.
I got a 60!
I
got a
never beat us
4.
finally.
Mine's a
Do
6.
you have disadvantage?
I got a 4.
I got a
Did you
4.
do disadvantage?
We all
Am I
just tripped
supposed
over
to
each other's shoelaces.
You
and domino.
you were almost definitely supposed to have disadvantage for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're in plate armor, right?
Yes.
You're
Oh,
disadvantage.
don't worry, that was.
You also
an
can't
8.
see.
I thought...
So what's your new roll?
Dragon Board don't have dark
Just
vision.
flat 8.
8. Well,
No dex
7
bonus?
plus 1.
7 plus
Oh
1.
jeez.
So that went real bad for you guys.
So Alar's like tugging away, and I just
Yeah,
kinda,
Alar basically, like, as really the only one who can get an idea of what's going on here, you go to, like, alright, like, hoping the group gets the signal and starts to move, and it just ends up in kind of this, like, stutter step that results in several loud, like, footfalls.
Somebody farts.
It's just like...
And go ahead and roll initiative.
Yay! You better
I'm
catch
gonna
fucking
immediately
dancing
and
like.
as soon as we realize we tripped, I'm just out of Oregon.
Okay.
I'm just back to.
I think.
Okay, that went better.
Did it though?
No, it didn't.
So what's your initiative?
It's 12.
That's better than your stealth roll.
It's a lot of things are better than the stealth roll.
Alrighty.
Did anyone think there was ever gonna be a chance that was gonna work?
Listen.
No.
I have
Not
a
really, but
We got
You guys are almost there, except everybody botched their stealth roll.
Because most of us are
We're
in
never gonna
disadvantage
do
right
anything competent if we just give up before we start.
now. Well, most of us, like a few of us, don't have dark vision, so therefore it's like the two biggest people don't have dark vision. So therefore we're at disadvantage. She's wearing like a whole shit ton of armor.
She's wearing literal belts.
Yeah,
So it's like, alright.
we got a lot going against
I've
us.
got a frying pan in the back.
It's like a donkey going
Did
down
you
the
have
path.
to wear your wind chime plate armor today?
She's all about the healing. I'm all about the killing. Like
All
it's-
right.
it happens.
25 to 20.
21.
19 to 15.
Did you get in double digits at least?
Yeah, I got the
14 to 10.
I got 12.
12?
11.
You two are 12?
Yep.
12. Walter.
Okay, this is gonna be. This is gonna be.
Kel.
This is gonna be.
11 is Oz.
Yeah. Ba-ba-ba,
Ramanula, what do you got?
9.
7.
Oh, boy.
Bringing up the rear.
Look, you
Alright.
got a heavy plate over. You can't react as fast as
You better make dancing
ALR?
lights or I'll kill you.
You hear
Obviously,
the
that's
noise
what I
that your
have to
party
do.
makes.
What?
Echo, roll initiative. 2 for 2! Alar,
Because we
you
all shut up as soon as we
hear
heard you say Alex.
the noise that your party makes. And you hear
Oh, we messed up.
First, I
You done messed
let
up,
loose
Aaron.
a particularly rich curse in Draconic, and
Nula, you understand as Alar says, poopy nuggets, which is very offensive in Draconic.
Hey!
It just says fudge.
10, 20,
Fudge.
I didn't say fudge.
Mr. Raps has to make a wisdom saving throw.
But it saves it.
Mr. Raps does not save it. He gets a 0. He
It's
gets a 5. He gets a 5.
Well, he's not damaged in any way yet, but it's a good way to start things off. He takes 2 points of necrotic damage as despite the fact that we are deep underground and the nearest bell is probably 2 days away, there's a very loud clang of a
You
bell
guys,
as
you
I
guys
can
basically hear
pull the dead.
Really far away.
Alrighty.
Watch your language.
Which, interestingly enough, brings us to his turn.
Those are saved for special occasions.
This is a special occasion. Which is apparently going to be my death.
This creature
Just shambles on over.
turns around and with long, sort of loping strides, for a dwarf, loping in comparison to the sort of zombified shuffle that you've seen before. It sort of takes these like exaggerated steps.
Yeah.
The wispy remnants of the beard kind of swinging as it goes. It shambles towards you, and it is going to first. I need Alar to make a wisdom saving throw.
Is this against being charmed?
No.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. 15.
Okay, so you do make that save.
Yay.
This thing turns its face towards you, and even though there's just like sunken holes where the eyes would have been on this dwarf, you can swear that you see like burning green eyes like flume out of these sockets for a moment, and you're just like, you almost retch, and this terror rises up in you, but you kind of steel your nerves and prepare to engage this thing in combat. As it then pulls back, no weaponry, just a clenched fist, and takes like a haymaker swing in your direction.
Oh, yeah, there's my man.
That's gonna be a 20 to hit.
Okay, that definitely hits.
Hell of a punch.
What is that? Hell of a punch. Oops.
Beardy
You're
McBeard's
gonna
over
take
here.
8 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Guess you're gonna get sand in the eyes.
Does it have eyes?
Plus
You don't know
11 necrotic
I
damage.
didn't say it didn't have.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I am down.
You're down. Okay.
Yeah, I was injured before. Yeah, it was a minor one, so I didn't.
So Alar,
So-
basically, those of you who can see in the dark, you
You
see
just see goes down?
this mummified dwarf basically reels around this corner, hauls
Right.
back, and just throws like a fist directly into Alar's like face,
It just
and he
downs
just
him.
crumples.
Damn!
Hits the ground.
Just like, God
So
damn!
this is
Do
happening
I still have
next
to
to
make
me.
save?
I can't see anything.
What
Yes.
Okay.
God.
And
Dang.
what's the modifier? What's
Constitution.
Okay. 14.
Okay, you do make it.
Yay.
Alrighty. So. The skeletons suck and are still fooled by the sound of the minor illusion, so they mill around over there for a bit.
Acceptable.
Yeah, the
And that brings us to Walter and Kel. So Walter, you hear sort of a, and then like a wet thud, and then a second heavier thud. And Kel, you see this mummified dwarf come and just like one-hit KO Alar in front of you.
Alar, what the hell? And then I cast dancing lights just in this vicinity.
Okay.
3 of them is in a couple feet from each other.
Dancing lights appear,
And
illuminating
then I
the
see
whole
this
area.
nonsense.
Alar is unmoving on the
We
ground.
all see this nonsense.
There's a creature standing above him. Turns towards you guys.
Guess that's why he stops.
We're going to frostbite that guy.
All right, roll to hit.
It is a Constitution save.
Sorry. Which he super fails.
He will take 6 points of cold damage and have
Okay.
disadvantage on his next attack.
Alrighty.
Let's guess who's
Cool,
about
cool.
to tackle.
So you step forward, shoot a freezing ray of all the moisture in the air condenses and just strikes into this mummified creature as he starts to ice over. And that brings us to Osrius.
So at this
You
point,
can see.
I can see. Going to rage
Alrighty.
and going to try to tackle this guy full force and like tackle him back, like away from
Okay.
Alar.
Make a.
Oh, and
Oh yeah.
DC.
His DC fails the check, so he's just gonna take full damage.
3.
3. Okay.
And then yeah, tackling him.
So just
Straight
make
D20.
a D20 plus your strength modifier.
22.
Definitely gets him. All right, so you barrel into this creature and you grapple him up.
Do I move him at all, like full force, or is it just like pretty much just grappling him? Because I was hoping
Is he
to
on
that
the ground?
like full force, like kind of move him at least 5 feet away.
I'm gonna have
from
to
him.
look up the bull rush rules, but for the sake of this, we'll say you move him 5 feet.
Yeah, I figured like 5.
That's
5 feet.
Yeah. I'll look up the bull rush moves and how.
Yeah.
I
Well, I can do
believe.
it too.
I believe the rule is just going off the top of my head. I believe the rule is once you like grapple and make contact, you can move with the creature.
It's just at
but if
half
it's
speed.
unwilling, it says it's if it's difficult terrain, so it's
Okay,
half
so
speed.
have
I
him move
believe that's
speed.
how that works.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm just not 100% sure on like
I mean, I'll
whether
I'll
or
figure
not
it
you
out.
can like do the grapple and continue to move in the same
Yeah.
turn. There's a rule
Yeah.
for it, but
Okay.
I'm not
So I
a
haven't
walking
grappled.
encyclopedia, unfortunately. So
Yeah. So I haven't grappled.
I suck. But you haven't grappled and you move 5 feet.
Cool.
All right, cool. Brahm, you see Alar is down. Brahm is wrapped around this creature.
Okay. Weird question.
Or Osrius is, rather.
What are his eye sockets like?
Like, basically hollowed out. There does appear to be, like, the flesh of eyelids still in them, but they're, like, sunken in, like there's no eyeballs inside them.
Okay. I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna take out a ball bearing. And I'm gonna shove it in his eye hole.
Make an attack with an improvised weapon. So go ahead and make me a d20 plus a, let's call it a dexterity check as you try to like shove a ball bearing into a moving eye socket.
17.
Yeah.
Okay.
You cram a ball bearing into the eye socket with this sort of like husky sort of noise, and the ball bearing snaps into place in there. So that's going to be your action for this turn. Alrighty. Very cool.
Unless he
Mila,
dies before my next turn.
you are up.
I'm gonna run up to Alar and cast Cure Wounds.
Cure wounds, okay?
6 points.
Okay.
Yay!
All right.
Welcome back to the land of the living.
You sort of like. Okay. Top of the order. Alar. You're now awake.
I'm going to use half my movement to stand. And 5. That'll get me close enough. And going to return the favor by stabbing it and casting Booming Blade.
All right, roll to hit.
That's a clean miss.
Okay. So you kind of still a little fuzzy after
Yeah.
getting hit that hard.
I'm trying not to hit you, so it's like.
And you're not sure which of the 3 zombies to aim for. You picked the wrong one.
Okay, you're not the one left. Try the one in the middle next time.
So it is the mummy's turn, and it is going to try to punch Osrius, who is
Grappling it
grappling
right
it
now.
up. That is going to be a
Disadvantage?
disadvantage.
Let's say.
Okay. An 11 to hit.
Nope.
Nope. All right. So it tries to like
Not going anywhere.
bring a
you
fist
asshole.
up. It doesn't manage to do that, but it does, though not managing to like punch you. It does crick its head back with a very disgusting like crunching noise,
Are we gonna kiss now?
so that its face lines up with you.
Oh god damn.
One eye socket now like a tattered hole where Brom forced the ball bearing through.
This is weird.
And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Protection would not help that, right?
Because my wisdom
Not
is
a
so
save.
big right now. Please. Okay, no. That was like a -1 wisdom, so I got a 1.
A 1? Oh, that's not good. You
I'm effed.
die. This is even before the magical component of this. This is the worst thing you've ever seen. This is like horrifying as this like. Even through the empty eye sockets, you just like you
Total
tunnel vision onto this thing's face, and you feel every muscle in your body just like seize with terror. You are paralyzed. Until the end of its next turn.
Alright.
Okay.
Well, somebody do something, because now he's free.
Yes. So basically, like,
Well, doing.
you're
Like,
still
holding
on
it?
him, but there's no strength left in
There's
your
no
hold.
strength, so it's like I'm still attached, but there's nothing
Right.
like really
Just
holding
hugging
him
him at
there.
this point.
Yeah. It's like a
You're
gentle
gently
caress.
caressing the mummy.
Gentle caress.
Okay. Which brings us to the skeletons, which
I figured,
still suck.
You're like, what is this noise?
I mean, they don't have much in the way of brains anyway, so.
Well, that was great though. At least they're occupied.
They are. They're
got
like
2 of them.
Actually, I'm gonna make separate rolls here now that you guys have set off light. Okay, so one of them does
Aw.
succeed as the light illuminates this area. One of them does turn around at this point,
Okay, I got one of them.
They're aware.
and he starts moving in this direction. All right, Walter and Kel, you guys are up.
Help me.
After you, sir.
Pretty sure you see me seize.
Do I hear the skeletons moving around?
Oh yeah, they're
Okay.
bony
So
clattering.
it's reasonable for me to know that they're moving closer.
Clickety
At least you hear at least one of them is coming around this side of the.
clickety clack.
Frostbite.
Give me the stack.
All right, on what the mummy?
On that guy.
Okay, roll the hit, or rather,
Constitution
roll the Constitution save, which he fails again.
3 points of full damage.
Okay.
Disadvantage on his next attack.
Alrighty. Cool. Again,
Uh,
you like start to ice over this creature, doing what you can to like limit its mobility. Walter, what do you do?
I'll just blast the fresh skeleton just pop around the corner.
Okay, roll the hit.
22.
Definitely hits.
3 points of damage.
3.
Of course.
streaks through the air, a brief flash of the kind of greenish energy of Walter's magic illuminating the area, and the bolt strikes into the skeleton. There's a kind of a crunching of ribs. And Osrius, you are up.
Can I really even do anything if I'm
No,
paralyzed?
you cannot. You are paralyzed, so you're done. Brom. Wait, let me guess.
You're not gonna heat
Say
that
the
metal
line.
in. He's still in my arms. Can be. Is he
It's
weary of
not gonna
that?
do anything to your arms. It's jammed in his.
It's in his
Eye
skull. You're
socket.
all right.
He could be flammable.
Oh, he's.
So I take a moment, I get a great big smile, and
Thanos snap.
then the ball bearing in his eye becomes red hot.
Roll damage because it's in his skull. He cannot get it out.
I like that. It's in his skull.
8.
He can't get it out.
8 damage. Wow. Okay, so one of the hollow eye socket through which you jammed the ball bearing now like illuminates with an orange cherry red sort of light from within as this ball bearing grows red hot, and you guys can just kind of hear this sort of like noise as the
he
ball
die
bearing
if it
starts to
melts
like
into his brain?
melt through whatever's inside this thing's skull.
I'm sure that smells great.
I'm definitely.
Now you're double horrified. You're
Yeah.
paralyzed.
I'm definitely
Just
smelling.
paralyzed by default.
I've smelled.
Hey, who's cooking bacon?
Me.
Alright, Nula, you're up.
Alright, I'm going to use my Warhammer in
Okay.
addition to Smite.
Smite!
You can wait to see if you hit first.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you wait, you have to.
10.
10 on this guy?
Yeah.
Not quite.
Alright.
You're not quite able to get a clean
Yeah,
shot
no,
around
it's-
Osrius, who's like locked in place
Because I'm
around this thing.
paralyzed.
Okay, that brings us to the top of the order. Alar, you are up.
If we don't kill him
Casting
now.
Booming Blade again. Oh, that's better. That's a 20, not natural.
That definitely hits.
Please.
So, and it's a
That
sneak
way.
attack. 8 plus 13 and 3. 16 points. And my that's piercing damage. And my bonus action is to disengage 5, 10, 15, 20. Over here. Give that thing something else to think about.
Alrighty. You mummy
Yeah.
leans its body back. Osrius's paralyzed grip sort of just like breaking out, and he can do nothing more than like stare in terror as this creature turns its face up towards him. Now even more horrifying as it's got.
It's because
glowing
now
red
it's got
eye.
this glowing red eye.
It does, in fact, however, turn towards you, Brom.
Protection.
Thank Jesus.
also has
No,
disadvantage,
it's
right?
this is not the physical attack. It's the thing with its as it stares at your face, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Please make it.
19.
Okay. So
Just straight
similar
19,
to Alar before, you feel this like creeping terror rise in your throat, but you shove it back down and kind of tear your vision away from the mummy.
Gaze ability is a little diminished by the flaming ball in its eye.
Or maybe
Is it?
Then
Or
is going to
maybe worse,
attack.
yeah.
Oh, with disadvantage, Osrius.
I think it actually is like. Isn't it like a crit in general because I'm
But
paralyzed?
it has disadvantage from
So
him.
I
It
guess
does
it would
have
be
a
have to be a
dis-
straight roll
Yeah.
in that case.
Because I'm like my understanding is like a paralyzed like
No,
I
you're-
just
Have advantage. It is a straight roll.
okay.
And
Doesn't actually matter because it rolled an 11 on both rolls, which means its to hit is a 16.
Yeah. That,
Okay, so that does hit you,
Okay.
which means it is a critical.
Protection?
Okay.
Protection?
Yeah.
I don't have a double disadvantage those things. I don't know.
Because I'm just reading from here because I
Well,
just looked it up and it's like any
advantage
attack
plus
that hits a
disadvantage.
creature is a critical hit. The
Right,
attacker
but she can
is
give it
within 5
disadvantage
feet of
again.
the creature.
It rolled an 11 twice. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
he's right. Sorry.
So it is going to crit you, which means it's going to deal. You are no longer raging, so this will be full damage because you went a turn without attacking. And it is going to deal.
I have 33 hit points right
It was 31.
Yeah, my max is
31.
6 bludgeoning damage plus 14 necrotic damage.
Oh, God.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
So you just did 20 damage on a con save. That's- Ugh.
So that's a 12.
Just makes it.
Ooh.
As this
Remember
thing's
when we almost
fist,
skirted around this guy?
this thing's fist just buries itself
God,
in your abdomen. And in addition to the impact, you feel like a wave of nausea just spreads out from the point of impact. But you kind of you spend a moment, you like swallow the bile that rose in your throat and sort of just shake yourself free as the disorientation that was coming over passes over you.
I have 13 hit points.
It's okay. I got 6.
It's good. It's good. We're all good. We're fine. What is fine?
Alrighty.
Double Jeopardy. What is fine?
Skeletons.
You should be able to roll to beat the paralysis now.
No, you just.
No, he's done.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
just
yeah,
done.
You're back to normal.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
After
Okay.
the end of his turn, I'm
Oh,
done.
okay. That's
Yeah.
Okay, this one comes towards Alar. That one still sucks.
That one still sucks.
Dumbest skeleton.
Thank God that one's stupid.
This one is gonna roll to hit. Ooh, roll to hit on you. That is gonna be a. If I can find where the skeleton.
Survive.
There it is.
Survive.
That's a 14 to hit on you, Alar.
Just hits.
Just hits. Okay. That is gonna deal 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
As it pulls up the broken, jagged hilt of a sword and slashes into your stomach with it.
Okay, that was not the brightest idea I had.
Walter and Kel, you're up.
I'll just blast that same skeleton.
All right, roll the hit.
12.
That hits. No, sorry, that does not hit.
Firebolt that skeleton.
All right. So an Eldritch Blast goes wide. A firebolt comes immediately behind it and
17.
hits directly into the skeleton.
3 points of fire damage.
Alrighty. Alrighty. So part of the side of it is singed and blackened with bones, growing brittle. But it still stays on its feet. Bringing us to Azrius.
Well, I'm going to try to straight hit it.
The mummy.
Yep.
Alright, roll the hit.
With the great axe. Since I only have 1 rage left. And
Do you have great weapon fighting?
yes. Yes, I do. That didn't help. 15.
A 15 on the mummy will hit.
Yes. Okay, and I'll take that as 11 plus, so 14.
Okay. You cleave into this thing, your great axe burying itself right in the torso. It gives one sort of like as it's hit, and you like pull your axe out again, and it's sort of like it's looking around at everybody surrounding it now.
Kill this thing.
Brings us to Ram.
Rom, kill it.
Well, it's going to take
Kill it.
its extra fire damage again because it's still in its own side.
Alright, roll the damage.
Six, 16 damage.
Okay.
So I'm going to do other things unless that's enough to kill him.
The creature, as you pull the great axe, Osrius, reels back and then lurches forward, both of its arms grabbing up around your your throat, just at the top of its ability to reach you, and you feel this vice-like grip clamps down, and a moment later, as if it's experiencing its own rage. You see the cherry red in its hollow eye socket as it stares up at you, glows brightly, almost as if willing itself to crush the life out of you. And a moment later, the following just hissing noise, and the grip releases, and the creature falls down to the ground unmoving. Dead.
I got you, baby.
That was clutch.
Okay. Alright. Since the main turn is out, I'm not going to burn another spell slot, so I'm going to Vicious Mockery that the guy Jazz Hands McGee.
Okay.
Jazz hands McGee.
He fails his saving throw.
Aha.
Let me just make sure he's... I think he actually is intelligent enough to take damage from this. He is. Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
That was not that, right?
It's not one.
That one's not intelligent enough to take damage from.
Apparently not.
He's going to take 1 damage.
Okay.
And die.
I hope he does.
No, unfortunately, no, he does not die.
Hey! Did you see that? I just cooked your friend from the inside out. Bitch. Somebody's going to end with a bitch.
Alar, as this skeleton is in the process of trying to pummel you to death, you hear, you're not sure what he says in kind of the heat of battle, but, like, the skeleton pauses and is like, turns towards Braun for a second.
Just like,
Feeling a little bad.
Skeleton's like, ow.
A cool man.
You wouldn't
Skeleton's
know,
his
buddy.
feelings too.
The skeleton turns away from him and he's just like,
That was actually mean. You crossed the line.
He has feelings. He doesn't have a nervous
one of these
system.
days I'm going to do a Vicious Mockery and the whole party's going to go, whoa!
Too far.
It'll depend upon what you say.
Okay. Nula, you're up.
I am going to move forward.
Skeleton's about to get jacked up.
Please jack it up. I have 2 hit
And
points.
what? Yeah. And use my warhammer for 15.
That hits.
7 points of damage.
You just crush the skull of this skeleton with your hammer, where the resounding and the rest of it falls to the ground in a clatter of bones, unmoving. Which brings us to the top of the order. Alar, what are you doing? There are no immediate threats near you.
I am drinking that potion that I have.
All right.
Four and 2, and it's 2d4 plus 2 for the minor.
Plus 4.
2d4. Yeah.
Okay, so 6 plus 4. So I'm up to 12 hit points.
Just double check that. 2d4 plus 2. not 4.
Okay, 8. So I'm up to 10 hit points.
Okay. Mummy is dead.
There's still one more.
Doesn't seem to notice that anything's going on over here.
Alar's just gonna
It's still rooting around in this
He's just
area.
gonna lean over.
I think we can go.
Are we good?
We may have to deal with
It's your
it on the
turn.
way out, but
Walter and Kel.
Kill it!
This is what's happening in real time.
Don't talk about it, just kill
Just
it!
like, just like we're looking at it, like.
It's here, just kill it!
I don't see anything else, so I'm good to leave.
She knew there was 2 skeletons.
You can kind of see it from where you are, Walter.
Alright.
With your dancing lights.
Alright, fireball.
Fireball. All right, roll
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna watch his streak of light to like verify.
8.
Nope.
I can see it. I guess I'll just.
Yeah,
follow
you
it.
can see it with
Finding
the
that
I'll
wild
just follow it
fireball
up.
light
I'll just
is
follow it
with-
up with a
My heart wasn't in it.
Eldritch Blast.
it's like, eh.
Yeah. 22
That hits.
and 6 damage.
6.
6 Eldritch Blast damage.
Alrighty.
How
So,
many rounds has it been? This be like the 5th round?
this is the 4th, I believe.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
It's only a 10-round spell for Dancing
You're
Lights.
fine.
So.
So a fiery streak shoots past this skeleton and hits the wall behind it, but an Eldritch Blast follows it up and cracks it in the spine behind, causing it to like finally turn around in your guys' direction. Osrius, you're up.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
So yeah, I was gonna bonus action with the lightsaber towards that as well.
Fine.
I just want to verify that.
I'm gonna throw a javelin at it.
Throw a javelin at, roll to hit.
That is 19.
19 will hit, roll damage.
7.
Javelin soars through the air, pierces right into the sternum of this creature. The rib cage basically just like caves inward as the javelin passes through, pokes one vertebra clean out of the spine on the way back, and the rest of it just like crumbles into bones and falls to the ground.
Really
Oh,
should
yeah.
check that.
Woo! At least killed something.
Are you just gonna Ric Flair woo every time you get a kill?
Woo! Just say woo! Every time.
I'm gonna take a moment and investigate the still smoking corpse here.
Okay.
We're gonna go back and take my javelin.
What? Huh?
Take my javelin back.
It's
No, we're
What?
talking about
Whoa. Okay, what's happening?
We're haunted.
That light
I'm turning the lights back. I'm doing them one at a
I
time.
was gonna say, what is happening? Why are the lights slowly turning?
okay.
Ba, ba, ba,
Nice.
ba.
This is how it ends.
You thought you were
You should
done.
have been taking it out.
I should have taken the emerald. I'm sorry.
And everything
All the
just
lights turn
fades
green.
to black.
And
The
a
malevolent-
few seconds after combat's over, the dancing lights do go out.
So I'm now in the dark.
So you're just over there.
I light a
like,
torch.
as soon as you pull your javelin, the lights go out.
Who turned out the lights?
Hey, who turned out the lights? Hey, who turned out the lights?
light a
My
torch.
investigation roll is an 18.
You get zombie gook on your hands.
Yeah, I'm just
Doesn't appear to have
And a
any
ball
at this
bearing.
time.
yeah, I'm just
And a ball bearing.
yeah,
anytime.
I'll take the my dagger and dig it out, and I'll just
bearings.
there you go.
A bag of ball bearings is worth every penny.
Well, here's your slightly cooked one back.
We can just leave that here. And hold it.
Don't want it back.
Hey, Laura's just holding it
Laura's
out via
taking
mage hand. Come on, take it.
Take it.
He's gonna have it start slowly circling your head.
Take it. You took the emerald. Well, just take the, take the ball bearing.
You told me to take the emerald.
I told you to take it, but now you just take the ball bearing too.
Fine. Grab it as closer.
It squishes a little.
All of a sudden, you
That's
don't want to
not
take
easy.
things.
Now you've got
That is-
corpse eater.
Yeah,
Now
that
you
is-
got reservations.
that was one unusual kind of undead. Any ideas?
Can I do a check?
You did spooky stuff. I felt.
What direction is Alar facing?
Arcana.
Is he facing away from me?
I'm facing. I was facing kind of toward you since I was doing the.
17.
Ooh, nice.
It is a dwarf that should not be moving around, but definitely is, and seemed to be wrong somehow to you. You got the sense that from these any of these undead, you do not get the sense they should be up and moving around, but whereas these, you kind of get this like sense of just that they're just like empty shells. Something was off about this one. Something was like almost as if it was sick.
So this is a dwarf.
Yes.
It's dead.
Yeah.
It's supposed to remain dead.
Mm-hmm.
Test the dead man's test of doing nothing.
Following.
Currently succeeding.
Yep. Yeah.
But for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
it failed the dead man's test.
Mm. Yes.
Where did you study? The University of Obvious Bullshit?
No, the University of Phoenix.
This may be the last episode of Tabletop Legends as we receive a cease and desist.
You think the University of Phoenix got money to come after us?
It's spelled with an F.
Oh, okay.
It's an actual phoenix that like rises and then dies.
But it's off. Like it's almost like it had a cold or something.
Cold.
That's
Long,
some cold
slow
that can freeze
blink.
the dead.
It was sick.
Several long, slow blinks.
You keep working on that theory. I'm going to go look over here.
Right.
You keep going at it, Slugger.
You might have the flu.
I'm gonna turn around.
just keep
towards
trying,
this-
champ.
Zombie flu.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
turn
get him
around
next
towards this
time,
rubble
champ.
pile and start investigating.
You just keep trying, champ.
And that's
Go get him, Tiger.
It's just a pile of rubble.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it might lead to a door or something, or if there's a bas relief or whatever.
Oh, wait a minute. This is not the right way. Hang on.
Oh.
This goes like this.
I was so excited that there was a dead end.
We knew it wasn't a dead end.
You come, as you move into this way, you come to a junction. One way, slowly curving section of hallway with more of those alcoves. Straight ahead, another heavy door. This one, metal, rather than stone.
Is it here?
Yep. And to your left, or to your right, a staircase leading down.
Door. Let's check the door.
If there is a giant ruby or emerald, it will stay there.
Maybe.
She didn't say sapphire.
She didn't say sapphire.
You didn't say sapphire is definitely the episode title.
You didn't say sapphire.
Once
I-
more,
I
I
go
will
up.
approach the door,
I go
check it
up.
for traps.
I'm there to be the muscle.
Walter's a little less sympathetic since we're not in a town full of living.
21.
Okay. Does not appear to be trapped, but it is, unlike the other doors, heavy, appears to be made of metal, and as far as you can tell, is equipped with a very complicated looking locking mechanism, requiring a key of some sort. Similar, different, completely different in shape, but a similar style locking mechanism to the mausoleum in the town.
We need the queen key, not the king key from back.
It does look like the emerald will fit in there, right?
Alright.
Which we don't know if I have or not.
Which I do not or do have in my possession at this point.
AR is still looking at the door while I'm doing this description. He hears that. There's just a very long.
None of us have any reason to believe you put it back.
You don't know.
You know, with that, I think you have it.
Rob's like, you don't know. That's like an obvious emerald lump in his jacket. You don't know.
Let's.
Alright, so we can't open this door.
Yeah.
Now that it's out of the bag, the note that I wrote to the DM says, I pocket that bitch.
I want to investigate. Let's check this before heading down. On the unbelievably tiny chance that the key that we need is is down that way.
The key's suspiciously 20 feet away from us.
The lock doesn't look like it could be melted, correct?
Does it?
Very, very much.
Is there
We're not
like
getting
a
through
rock that looks obviously plastic?
It's a
The Heineke, no, it's not
The
there.
ancient don't know. It's not to,
They'll never look here.
Dwarves not to put a Heineken.
They have a bring security, sorry.
So I'd like to go
It's served by Brick
to the
Security,
right.
like little.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation.
Jesus.
20, not natural.
More sarcophagi, or more of those alcoves. Some of these contain unmoving dwarven bodies, which you like very carefully move near. Others are empty. You find nothing of any particular interest in this area,
Okay.
Like dwarven bodies that have been laid to rest
Mhm.
and just haven't gotten
and
back
do
up.
not seem to have gotten up.
What about the stairs there?
Okay.
Make an investigation check. Make a just a straight perception check on the
Fine.
stairs.
Ooh. 19.
So as the others are kind of investigating the door, checking, checking the doors and corners, making sure you don't leave something behind you. Curiosity gets the better of you, and you move a few steps down the stairwell. And you look, it descends at a spiral. As you move a few steps away from the light of the torches of your party, you can see the faintest hint of orange illumination of a torch or a fire of some sort coming up from the stairwell below.
Guys, there's a fire down here, I think.
That
Forget all of this.
that causes ALR to just turn right
And
around.
I just go down.
Yep.
Going down.
Walter's right behind them.
Yep.
Down this way!
More draconic cursing.
Injured in
Those
the
are
back.
saved for special occasions.
This is a special occasion.
We're not dead. It's
Not
not,
every
a special
occasion is
occasion.
special.
I almost was, so I'm allowed to use them.
I do
You
have
already
only
used
13
yours for
hit
the
points
day.
left.
Injured in the back. I'm going down the stairs.
I'm gonna curse in Orcish and be like, those are for every occasion.
No, I only say the curses in Celestial for the special occasions.
Okay. Actually, very similar.
Same map.
A very similar chamber.
We're in a loop.
Just reverse.
A very similar chamber to the one above greets you down below.
What the hell is this?
Deja vu, the feeling that you've done something before. Deja vu, the feeling that you've deja vu, deja vu, deja vu.
Can't get any lower, right?
Deja vu. I've seen this shit.
You guys are coming in from there if you want to put yourselves.
I guess I'm first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like right behind you.
Yeah, okay.
With my
Can,
torch.
can you heal me, maybe?
No. No. That is a long gone ability.
Nope, you are looking at the wrong people.
I'm looking at the wrong people, yes.
As you guys move down the stairwell, you open back up into this open chamber. Unlike the one above, the floor of this chamber is bare earth. The air here is damp and musty. Bits of rubble, fragments of pottery, and nearly disintegrated wood indicate that this may simply have been a storage space of some sort in its original configuration. Now, bits and scraps of odd material have been dragged, seemingly from elsewhere within the room, and gathered up in what at first glance looks like almost random configurations around the space. A small fire burns in the far corner. Smoke you see trickling gently up into a ventilation duct that is built into the wall nearby.
Ventilation system?
Its light illuminates the room and the occupants. You see two skeletons milling aimlessly. And you see between the two support pillars near the fire, there is kind of a pile of blankets laid out. And there is a small form of what appears to be a young girl
Ooh.
laying near the fire.
It's a trap.
I say back, I see a girl. I see a girl.
Alright, what's the hold up? Let's go. That's why we're here.
Go.
Rush it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Fine.
What else do you see?
A fire and two skeletons.
Okay.
Rush the skeletons?
In a few engaged skeletons, cover me. I'll go for the girl.
I'm gonna rush the skeletons.
As soon as you step into the room,
Oh, god
Of course.
you hear, not with your ears, but with your mind,
damn.
a voice. All of you.
swear to God.
Reverberating. And it says, "Who are you?"
Your mother.
No. No. Can we like speak this with our mind, or can we speak this out loud?
Oh, I said that out loud.
I say with my mind on Andreas.
You think I'm Andreas. Why have you come here?
We came for the girl.
That one has come to me. This one needs it. Come. Come closer. This one cannot properly see your colors from such a distance.
Can we all hear that?
All of
Yeah.
you hear this in your minds.
Alright, I'm going forward as it is.
Yeah, I mean, I was rushing the skeleton, so I mean.
I'm going to make a
Reach anybody.
stealth approach around the far. Then.
So,
So my stealth check is
Okay.
actually pretty darn good. Not that'll really help since it can speak in our heads, but that's an 18. As Alar, his rapier in hand is kind of creeping along the edge.
everybody else is.
I mean, we're not.
We're-
But you're
we're-
next to
we're
Alar,
not-
so it's like he's
Yeah.
stealthy though.
16 plus, I believe it's a 4. Yeah.
As you guys approach, and you come around this pillar, you see that behind the one close to the fire, concealed from your view as you entered, a humanoid shape, roughly the size of a man, but deformed. Its limbs are lanky, thin, skeletal, and long. Its spine is hunched. It has recurved knee joints. Its knees bend the opposite way of a normal human knee.
Ugh.
There are jagged, bony protrusions from the top of its head running all the way down its back, and its skin is a dark, mottled, blackish purple color. It turns towards you, placing one four-fingered, clawed hand on the ground to support itself. As it turns its head, a single, large, luminescent green eye looks at you. A gaping maw full of jagged teeth. It turns in your direction, and it says, "You have come. Are you part of the answer?"
What's the
The
question?
answer is what?
The answer to the question.
What's the question?
The question cannot be known, save for once the answer has been revealed. I came to this place. It called to me. I built it. The clues are everywhere. Pieces of the puzzle. Only to be understood when the complete mystery is solved. I thought perhaps the answer was here. But it was just another clue. But now they come to me. you come to me? Your colors are different. Older. Perhaps you know the answer.
We can't determine the answer if we don't know the question.
Toots.
Why have you come here?
We told you we came here for. This is who's talking, right? We assume, or we don't.
Yeah.
That is who's
Oh.
talking. That's a fire.
Oh. I'm gonna come over here
Okay.
and try and keep him distracted. So maybe he'll.
Thank you.
What was it? What was the last thing he said?
Why are you here?
You came for the girl.
We also felt the calling that you speak of.
You seek the answer. You seek the question that cannot be known.
Yes.
And you're sneaking.
Possibly.
Yep. I
Maybe
know.
So
we're
as you
here.
get within, like about there,
Here.
his eye turns to you. Do not approach. Stay back. And he moves over to the form.
Balls.
I need this one. It helps me. It is mine.
I could help you more.
Yeah, he's real pretty. He's definitely better than that little girl.
It looks at you and you see sort of the eye kind of shifts back and forth between the group of you, uncertain. And it reaches down. Gently, you see it shake the shoulder of the form, the little girl.
Okay, I was just about to do a perception check to see if she was actually looked alive.
You hear in your minds, but more faintly, as if it's not like directed at you. You hear, "Awake, small one. Their colors are strange. I am in need of your wisdom." And you see, beneath the kind of the shake of this clawed, monstrous hand, the form of the little. You see now that she has a halfling, the little halfling girl. She kind of stretches, blinking sleep from her eyes, and rubs them. She sits up. Who are these people? She says to the creature. I do not know. But their colors are different. I do not know what to make of them. And she kind of turns and says, who are you people?
Aylar's gonna lean down a little bit, get a little bit more on her level. Your mother sent us.
Mommy?
Hey,
No.
you. Look at me. You. Right here. He's going to give you a little side eye. And then,
She sort of looks a little confused for a second, kind of looks between you. And then she sort of shrinks a little bit uncertainly, kind of towards the creature a little bit. And she says, "What do you mean?"
we're here to take you home to her.
But I help. He needs me. I help him.
So does your mother.
She looks a little confused.
We can help him. You can go home.
You can?
Yes.
I think he's sick. He talks a lot, but I don't know what it is. Well, I don't know a lot of what he says. He seems confused. I think he's sad. He says that he needs me for something. He says that I'm special. This one has the colors. She is part of the clue, part of the riddle, part of the answer. I need her.
Maybe we can help you solve this riddle if you tell us about it.
The riddle is all. The riddle is the search for the answer to the question that cannot be spoken, cannot be known. The only way.
If it's a question that cannot be known, then how do you know it?
I do not know it. I only know that it must be found. And the only way to find it is to gather knowledge, to gather the clues.
How do you know we don't know the question already? And that's why we're here.
I can see your colors. I know of you. I cannot be fooled.
What's your name, creature?
This one does not know. It knows nothing. It knows only the search for the answer.
I'm gonna cash slowly on my shovel.
Okay.
Just
As you do that, he... Yes. Your colors are the same as what was here. Perhaps you know something.
He's talking about magic, I think.
Is his attention focused on Walter now?
It seems to be, but you get the impression based on how he reacted to you previously that his eye is really not his primary mode of focusing his attention.
What are these skeletons?
Nothing. They're just standing there.
What do you know about the undead in this tomb?
I came here. I sought a clue. Piece of the riddle. And then more clues came. They came to me of their own accord. It must mean I am close. And at this point, the Mina, the little girl, says, He found a thing. Sometimes it makes... And she looks towards the skeleton. Them get up. I don't know if he knows he's even doing it.
That might be part of the solution to your question.
No.
How do you...
I must gather. Only gather.
Can I get closer?
Yeah, you can work towards him.
Well, if that thing you found clearly isn't your answer, maybe you would be willing to trade for something that might be your answer, since you clearly don't need it.
What do you offer?
And I pull out the emerald.
He looks at it. Yeah. A useless lump of stone. Oh no. No.
I wouldn't say it's so useless. It's what's the dwarven god?
Demathlin.
It's a special Demathowinian relic.
No. It has no colors. I would know if it did. It does not. It is nothing.
I'm going to cast Minor Illusion on the stone to glow a little bit, but more because I want the magic to make a color.
Okay. Make a deception
What about
check.
now? I rub it.
I need a deception check.
Okay. Uh, 17.
So, it watches and says, the colors are yours. I know them. You cannot fool me. And he reaches into the threadbare, almost like a loincloth that he's got, and he pulls out about 1.5 feet long, blackened, crooked, jagged piece of wood. He clutches in his fist and he says, "You attempt deception. You close in." He sees as you guys have started to move closer. "You are false. You are not part of the answer. You are here to stop me. No!" And at that moment, I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
Let's go.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Okay?
So
16.
10.
It's not a charm effect, is it?
No.
Okay. Sorry. Gotta keep
I haven't
asking.
added anything to it, but it's an
It's
add
not
one.
going to matter.
I'm going to take Tides of Chaos.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
I think that was 19 before you knocked it over.
Yeah, it was the first one was 19.
Yeah.
19.
Okay. So, simultaneously, there is a cacophony of mental noise, basically blasts out of this creature over you, and each of you individually, simultaneously, you hear it speaks and starts speaking directly to you. So, Osrius, you have just a moment to recognize as everybody in the party staggers back half a step, and some of them clutch, some of them react differently. And you begin hearing in your mind this creature's voice as its eye seems to turn directly at you. And you hear it say, "Gone. They are all gone. And you are not there. You are useless. It would have been better had you been with them. Had you died with them. Then at least you would have not had to carry their ashes with you on your soul." Nua,
Go for it.
in your mind,
It's rough.
And I have a
girl, just a girl, a child, and they sent her into the wilderness alone. All these years seeking, you must know, she is long gone. Elar. Nothing. No matter how much you do, it will make no difference. Time is the enemy of all. You will grow old and die, and nothing you will have done will have affected the terrible flow of cruelty across these lands. Brown. She died. She died waiting for you to return. You never came back, not in time. Her last thought as she died was of your abandonment. Walter. He owns all that you are. You will never be free of him. You know. Deny it to them if you wish, but you cannot deny it to yourself. You know what he is, and someday they will know it too. And then what will they think? Mikkel. Dead. How many dead? Burned alive. Your fault. You are you are another disaster waiting to happen. How long? How long before you lose control again? That happens. We roll initiative next week.
Ooh. Ooh.
There's gonna be some rash decisions next week.
If you didn't stop it right here, he was immediately gonna get shot in the face.
I was like,
That's
I
what I'm
literally, well, after me, I was like, all right, what's the worst spell I have?
I was like, I'm about to throw a javelin straight in his face.
It's gonna be like a one round KO, like everybody just fucking this. Oh boy.
So, thank you everyone for joining us. We did not make it to 20 at any point this evening. I'm going to hand this around to start doing the golden D20 roll. Make your rolls quickly because I want to keep my wrap up quickly because I just did that voice for 20 minutes and I am on the verge of not being able to talk anymore. Thank you everybody for joining us. We had a fantastic episode tonight. Like I said, we did not get to 20, so the mug stays with us. We're going to keep that as a goal every week. That'll be our goal. Hit 20 viewers concurrently and we'll give away a mug. Once we get to that, we'll up it again. I think that's a good
That's a good one.
good plan to go with.
Can I use somebody's pen?
So thank you. So thank you guys for sticking with us tonight. I hope that you enjoyed the show. If you have not watched any of our stuff before this, please go to YouTube and look us up. We are Tabletop Legends on YouTube. All of our previous episodes 1 through 7, are available on YouTube. If you came in during part of this and you want to catch up on this one, this episode will go up next Monday before our next live stream on Tuesday at 7 p.m. right here on Proficiency Bonus. Thank you again to our presenting sponsor, Marvel Moon Studios and the 8th House. Give them a look on social media and online for a bunch of cool witchy lifestyle and home good products. Thank you for hosting us and allowing us to take up a time slot on your weekly schedule, Proficiency Bonus. Please, I implore you, check out Proficiency Bonus's other programming. Every day of the week, there is something cool to watch. It is awesome. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
Does the chat vote as well?
Chat, if you guys want to cast a vote, please do so now. The Golden D20, if you're not aware, is a thing we do at the end of every episode where the cast casts a vote for one among them who did something really cool or had an awesome roleplay moment or something cool in combat, and we award the winner of that with the Golden D20, which is a free natural 20 that you can use on any roll that you want within the next session.
Which is going to help.
I have their votes here. If you want to cast a vote last minute, by the time I finish reading this, we will take that into account. But otherwise, here we go. My first vote is for Brahm, which says, "Great eyeball of fire." Definitely was yours, and I could read it all this week. And I know that because I only was barely able to read it.
Mine is almost illegible.
Brahm for badass emerald stealing. We have Osrius for promoting bad behavior.
Hey, yay!
Nula for keeping us alive.
Hey, yeah, that's right.
And Brahm for poor life decisions. And final vote, Brahm for Brom stuff. By a landslide, I believe, means Brom. Russell, you are the winner. The golden D20 for next week.
For Brom.
Congratulations for Brom stuff. That's the one I'm going to save for Brom stuff. Thank you guys for being here tonight and playing D&D with me. Thank you guys for joining and watching us at home. We will see you next week at 7 p.m. sharp. I love you, not in a weird way, and good night. Go ahead and take us out, Carlos. Bye.
Bye.